It's the Fort Hays State University Coaches Show on Eagle Community Television, brought to you by Eagle Communications.
Hello again and welcome to another edition of Tiger Talk. This is Gerard Walbrock, soon to be joined by head women's basketball coach Tony Hobson and men's coach Mark Johnson. The Tigers coming off a pretty good week. The ladies win 2 more to run their winning streak to 19 and stay alone atop the MIAA with a road win at Emporia. Then a hard-fought come-from-behind win at Washburn on Saturday. The men split. They win by 22 at Emporia, then lose a tough one on a poor shooting night in Lee Arena on Saturday. So we'll talk all about that and more when we come back. The program brought to you by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine and Hayes, where the fire's always burning. When we come back, head women's coach Tony Hobson joins us. It's right after the break, right here on Tiger Talk. Hi, I'm Gerard Walbrock, voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers, inviting you to join me for Tiger Talk. Airs Monday nights from 6 until 6:30 on Tiger Radio Mix 103, and then the video replay on Eagle Cable Channel 14 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Preview the last game and look ahead to the next week's action on Tiger Talk. Monday nights, 6 till 6:30 on Tiger Radio Mix 103 and on Eagle Cable Channel 14. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Walbrock, head women's coach Tony Hobson joining us now. Fort Hays State alone in first place in the MIAA at 12-0. Couple of nice wins again as they keep their streak going against in-state rivals. They go to Emporia and win a great game on Wednesday and then a hard-fought game Saturday in Topeka over the Washburn Ichabods. Tiger Talk, again, brought to you by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine and Hayes. And, Coach, you keep it rolling. We've talked about streaks. You've won 19 in a row and all the different things. Maybe the most important, you're 12-0 in the MIAA and alone in first place. And right now, that's kind of first and foremost on the agenda, trying to win a league championship.
Well, that's the first goal, is just to keep your eye on that and not worry necessarily about a streak or anything like that. I think those things take care of themselves as you just concentrate on the business at hand, and that's to try to prepare your team and have them play the best they can on that certain night.
Well, Wednesday at Emporia, you knew it was going to be a challenge, the number 2 team in the country, and had been ranked number 1 for several weeks, and just a solid team again this year. They've been so good for so long, and you played great again. And you look at it, you had about a 10-minute window. You really shot the ball well, and that was kind of the difference. You got your separation, kind of had to hold on after building that 20-point lead, but you did. But that was really, you look back, kind of the difference in the game. You had about a 10-minute stretch where you guys played really, really well.
Well, I don't think we could have done much more. We had everything going. Kate was strong inside. We had a good perimeter game and hit some shots, and our defense was great. I mean, in the first half at that one time, it was 35-15, and to hold that team to 15 points through about 14 minutes of the game was kind of, that was kind of the turning point, I thought. A team like that is going to have stretches where they score points in bunches, and to build a lead and have a little cushion so we can withstand that and still kind of rally and maintain that 8 to 10 point cushion was really key. And I was just proud of the way we kind of hung in there and didn't get taken over by it was a huge momentum shift there for 3 or 4 minutes the second half, and our kids really withstood that.
Yeah, you knew they were going to make their run. They did make their run, but I never sensed panic on your squad. I mean, I think they probably expected it too, and again, had a couple of people step up and hit some big shots at key times and maybe get a big rebound or 2 to hold them at bay. Well,
we had a couple timeouts in there that we tried to call just to not necessarily calm people down, but when we had those, it was interesting as I kind of observed my players in those situations. There wasn't panic. It was more of they were irritated. They were irritated that they had given up the lead and felt confident that they could stop it, and so it was more of hey, we can stop this right now if we just execute how we're supposed to, and as a result we did. So again, I was just happy with you're always going to have adversity on the road, especially, and against the number 2 team in the country. You're gonna have to withstand some of that, and it's just an excellent job by our kids.
fun to watch the battle inside with Kate Lehman and Marissa Quick, two highly touted players out of high school. I know you recruited Marissa Quick as well, and put up very similar numbers. They both had their stretches going back and forth, but those are two big-time post players playing at a high level on Wednesday.
Oh, and it's fun to watch them play against each other. I mean, over the years, Kate has had better individual numbers and more accolades with the first team all-conference and defensive player and all those things. Part of that, I think, is because we've probably had to rely on her a little bit more. Emporia State probably had a little bit better supporting cast, and maybe not this year. I think our supporting cast has improved over the years, and now that's about equal. So, they've been two mainstays, probably the best two post players in the conference for the past couple years, maybe three, and they both had good games, and they battled, and I think they have a mutual respect for each other. I mean, they battle hard, but you never see any yapping going on or in your face stuff. It's just, you play hard, I play hard, and I think that's a real healthy part of the game.
Well, Tigers get the big win on the road in Emporia, then had to turn right back around and play Washburn on Saturday night. We'll take a break, talk about the big win over the Ichabods, and then look ahead to another big week. And as the season goes, they all get big, and we'll do that when we return. Tiger Talk presented by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill. They got a lot of the great menu items you've always come to love, the great steaks. Of course, the bacon wrapped shrimp, our favorite, but a lot of new menu items, including a lot of great new appetizers. So check them out at Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine, where the fire's always burning. Back with more and head coach Tony Hobson right after this.
Eagle Mission Control, this is the Jetson family, 2235 Central.
Yeah, copy that, Jetsons. What's your situation, over?
Santa brought lots of new Wi-Fi gadgets last night. Are we a go or no-go on our internet speed?
Looks like you have our Turbo 15 meg speed. You are a go for streaming and surfing on multiple Wi-Fi devices.
Boost your Eagle internet speed with the next level upgrade today for a successful takeoff for your streaming devices. Call Eagle at 877-61-EAGLE.
Hi, I'm Andrea Clinkscale, and this is...
Wait a minute. I'm Andrea Clinkscale.
And I'm Chris Munch. Join us on House to Home. That's a house. We're going to talk about homes from top to bottom, left to right, front to back, and where's it going to air?
It's going to be on Eagle Community Television, channels 14 and 614, or you can even watch it on HaysPost.com.
Very cool. Bring a pencil. You're going to need one.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Walbrock, head women's coach Tony Hobson. The program brought to you again by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill at 3203 Vine in Hayes. The 20-1 Lady Tigers getting set for a couple of home games this week with the Nebraska Kearney and Emporia State. Before we talk about them, let's recap a big one at Washburn. And you knew this was going to be a tough game. Washburn, I guess, down by some of the standards because they had such really, really good teams, but still a solid basketball team. And they gave you all you wanted, and your team found a way. 10-2 run, I think, in the last 5 minutes to come from behind and get the victory. It was a grinder, but your team found a way to do it.
Well, it was one of those that we expected to be a tough game, and I thought we got Washburn's best shot. I mean, I thought they played well, really had a lot of intensity, rebounded the ball extremely well, and that really hurt us. When you think about this past week, and we hadn't won there as a program either place for 20 years, at Emporia, at Washburn, since we went Division II. Mm-hmm. And to do both of those in the same 4-day stretch is impressive, I think. And so we were ready to play, I thought, but we looked a little tired at times, and I thought made more mental errors than we have. You have to give Washburn some of the credit. I mean, usually there's a reason other than just your team that things happen sometimes. But we found a couple plays when we needed them, and Beth's plays at the end of the game were just, what do you say? She, at the 5-minute mark, she's over on the bench with, she wasn't crying, but she had tears in her eyes, and anybody that has ever been hit in the nose or has had a broken nose, like I know how that feels. It's happened to me a couple times, and there's just, you know, there's no other feeling. I mean, she just about lost consciousness, got hit. Her nose might be broken. I thought it looked like it probably was. She came back in late and just had two huge defensive plays, and you know, if you have a 2-point lead and the other team can't score, you're going to win the game, and that's kind of what happened. So along with those key plays, Jill Faxon kept us in at the first half with 3 big threes. Kate Lehman hit a couple big shots down the stretch. Chelsea Mason hit a jumper and a couple free throws. You had Nikki make a couple big plays. So it was as much of a team effort as we'd had, but boy, we found a way to make some plays and finish the game 10-2 on the road. That was just a great deal by our team, I thought.
Yeah, great win. Kept the Tigers alone in first place in the MIAA, and now wrapping up play against the West Division, the first section of play with Nebraska Kearney at home on Thursday. And a Loper team, they lost Sunday at Emporia pretty handily, but obviously they're playing a lot better. They're hovering right around 500 in conference play. That hasn't been the case up until this year since they joined the MIAA, and you know they're going to be extremely excited to come to Hayes on Thursday and try to knock off a highly ranked Tiger team. This will be another challenge, as they all will be as this thing goes further along and you're in the rankings. You've now become a kind of a targeted team. Everybody wants to knock you off.
Well, you get better efforts from teams. There's no doubt about it. I just think now we have two kinds of pressure on us now, where before we've always just had pressure to try to win the game. Now we have pressure to win, and we have pressure to not lose because we're not supposed to. And it's a different mindset, and until these kids experience it a few times, it's just it's something they have to become accustomed to. Kearney is much improved over last year. They have a very good starting 5, a good post player, a very good point guard. I like their team. They played Washburn to overtime on Thursday night of last week, so you know that they're very capable, and that was at Washburn. And they were sitting at 5-5 until, you know, they go to Emporia, to Washburn. They have to come here. I think if they were in the east side of our conference, that they would be one of the best 2 or 3 teams in the east. So they will be a battle, and it's kind of a regional little rivalry that's been going on a long time. So I expect them to play loose and with nothing to lose, and we need to be ready for it.
You mentioned the different pressures your team will now face with everything that's come their way, and I thought maybe Saturday was a good indication of how they'll handle it, because it was a game in which not very often you go to Topeka and you're favored to win, which you guys were, but they found a way to fight through all that and find a way to win games, and that's really the name of the game right now. It doesn't matter how they look as long as you get the job done.
Well, I'd say it's the first time ever that we've went into Washburn as probably a favorite of some type, and it's just a different feeling. And like I said, sometimes you get the kids that, you know, the pressure's on them so much that, hey, we can't lose this game, you know, because we're not supposed to, and they quit playing. But also with being the favorite comes a little bit of attitude and a little bit of, you know what, there's a reason we're favored, and that's what I try to stress. You know, the position you're in, you have earned, and now you just need to act like it and play like it, and just do the best you can under any circumstance. And while it wasn't our sharpest performance, it got the job done.
Well, should be another fun week of basketball. A couple of more home games Thursday with Kearney, and then Saturday afternoon with Emporia. Coach, as always, we appreciate the visit. Have a great week of practice, and we will see you out at Gross Coliseum on Thursday night.
Okay, thanks, Gerard.
That is head coach Tony Hobson of the Lady Tigers, now 20-1, and trying to stay atop the MIAA again this week. Tiger Talk presented by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine, where the fire's always burning. We'll take a break. Head men's coach Mark Johnson joins us next, right here on Tiger Talk.
Imagine powering all of your Wi-Fi devices seamlessly with Eagle Fusion. Your laptop, gaming system, and other electronics connect to Eagle's internet. Call 877-61-EAGLE to get Fusion for only $5 per month.
Imagine your favorite TV show following you through the house. With Eagle Fusion, you can stop your favorite program in one room and start up in another without missing any of it. Get Eagle Fusion for only $5 per month by calling 877-61-EAGLE today.
Get low when the whistle go.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk, presented by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine in Hayes. Gerard Wellbrock joined now by head men's basketball coach Mark Johnson's Tigers get a split this week. They go to Emporia, get a really nice win over the Hornets, and then unfortunately don't shoot the ball well on Saturday and come up short against the Washburn Ichabods at Lee Arena. Let's go to Wednesday, and a great effort by your squad, shot it well, played some outstanding defense, and go on and win it by 22. That was maybe a bit of a surprise as the margin of victory, but that was a great way to start the week for your squad on Wednesday.
Yeah, I thought all week, both games, we played extremely hard. I thought we played really good defense. Might have been our best defensive week of the season. In Emporia, Emporia, we were able to make some shots and score enough points to win. I think we shot over 50% for the game. Maybe it did the same thing from three-point line, and it was just a nice, on both ends of the floor. I thought we did a tremendous job. And sometimes we talk about it through the years. It's not always who you play; it's when you play. And I thought Emporia, 5 straight road games, even though you come home, that can be difficult. And we're going to have a much more challenging time this week playing them at home than even I think we did on the road. But a great effort from our guys. And then, Saturday I thought our effort continued on the defensive end. Thought we guarded really well. The difference was we were 3 of 17 from 3. They were 9 of 20, and really that was the game. If we make 3 or 4 more threes, I think we had an opportunity to win that game. But again, proud of our guys with the effort and how hard we played, and to give ourselves a chance to win both games. Just came up a little short.
Defensively, you got to be pretty happy about this squad from where the season started, and that's a lot of cases when you add in new players, but they've really kind of taken hold of this and have bought in, and it's become pretty consistent now. It seems like every time out they just get a little bit better on the defensive side of the floor, and it's something that has to be there the rest of the way.
Oh, yeah, it has to be there for us to have opportunities to win, and we got to keep doing it as we finish. There's still 4 weeks left in the season, a lot of games left. We got to keep continuing to build on that end and make sure that end of the floor is solid every single night, and hopefully we can find a way to get better, find different ways to score. Again, we got to get Dom more involved. He just can't get enough shots off. We got to find a way to get him more touches to put pressure on the defense and give us another option to make it. Because right now it's really how well we're shooting the ball from the perimeter, and the nights we don't shoot it well. The Washburn result happens, and we got to get Dom, just more involved offensively.
And you probably knew you were going to do for a game where you maybe don't shoot it as well. You'd been up around 48% in the 4 games since Craig had was injured, and you unrealistic to think you're going to continue to shoot it at that clip. It dropped off so significantly, unfortunately, for you guys. But you had been shooting it extremely well, and that's encouraging.
Yeah, I think that's what our team is. That's what we, every year with you have Craig, that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to surround him with shooters. You're trying to space the floor, so, defense either has to help and we can kick it out for wide open threes and guys that can knock it down, or they stay out and Craig's able to finish. I think, that's what our team is designed for. I think what's happening now at times, which you're concerned about, our shots aren't probably as open as before. We're shooting them a little quicker, a little deeper. And, we just got to we've been able to still make them until the Washburn game, and hopefully we can. And, the main thing is we can control our effort and control our execution, and that's what we need to focus on.
Achoki, we've talked a lot about that, maybe affected as much with Craig being out. It looked like you're trying to find the ways to maybe get him a few more looks and a few more chances to shoot the ball because he's been doing it at such a high rate.
Yeah, we're trying to get him off the ball a little bit, moving James at times, especially in transition. James is a little quicker, a little faster with the ball, can get it down. we're having to play at a real slow tempo, which I think is a positive and a negative. I think it's helping us on the defensive end, not letting the other team get as many possessions. It's probably where we're able to rest a little more on offense to go back on defense and play with a little more intensity. But on offense, we're not getting as many easy shots off. It's boggling us down a little bit, slowing us down, not getting the quality looks we want. So we got to find that line in between. We probably need to be playing at a slower pace than before. But at the same time, we got to find a way to get some easy baskets. You can't go down and have to face their defense for 30 seconds every single possession. It just puts too much pressure on your outside shot and things like that. So we just need to be able to get some quicker, easier points at times.
Well, the Tigers try to bounce back. They'll be at home for a couple of games this week. Thursday night, the Lopers and Nebraska Kearney come to town, and then on Saturday afternoon, the rematch with Emporia State. We'll talk all about it when we return. Tiger Talk again presented by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine, and we're back with our final segment right after this.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications. Our community connected.
Get low when the whistle go.
Back at our final segment tonight on Tiger Talk, presented by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill. They have a lot of great appetizers, including some new ones, the barbecue nachos, the loaded barbecue fries. So whether you're out studying late, maybe after the big game, stop on by Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine in Hayes, where the fire's always burning. A couple of home games for Fort Hays State this week. Starting Thursday night, Nebraska Kearney comes to town, and the Lopers having a very nice year. They're 8-4 in the conference. They were right there in that four-way tie for the lead. They lost Sunday at Emporia State, but they're still in the hunt for a regular season conference championship. Obviously very, very good. They've got two or three of the better players in the conference, and that's always a pretty good place to start when you're building a team.
Yeah, and it goes back to their season. We're talking about it's not always who you play, when you play. I think they had Emporia couldn't play on Saturday, so they stayed out from Wednesday to Sunday, and you see the results when that happens. But it'll be a really tough game. Kearney offensively is really good. Where they struggle at times is defensively. I think being a rivalry game with Fort Hays, they're going to come out and play probably a little better defense than they do on most nights. And then the Brozak and Beranek are, you could argue they're two of the top 5 players in our conference. At any time you have that kind of talent, they're hard to stop. They're those guys are matchup problems for you. Brozak 6'7", 240. Athletic kid, and what he does, he handles the ball and drives it so well. That's hard for big guys to match up with. He doesn't really just play with his back to the basket. He takes them outside and then gets them spread out and just dribbles and drives around you. And then Beranek's a 6'7" kid that I think he had 31 the last time out. Shoots the ball well, can post up, can just take one dribble and shoot up over his guy. And again, those guys are such matchup problems. And then they surround 3 guys around them that just really shoot it well. So you can't play those guys one-on-one. You go give help. It leads to those other guys able to knock down shots. So we are going to have to figure out a way to give help without giving up open shots at the same time, and really play at a very high level on the defensive end.
Sounds in some ways like a typical Kearney team when they've had some really good ones over the years. You got a couple guys that give you those matchup problems because of their ability to drive and shoot, and then you just surround them with the components to help fill in the spot.
Every time we play Kearney, they do a good job. It's one of the most simple scouts you could have. I mean, when they have really good players, they're really good, and then at times the way they play, when they don't have that talent, they struggle because they just run a simple game, give it to your best players, spread the floor, let them go make plays, and that's a pretty good formula when you have guys at the level of Beranek and Brozak. That's they don't complicate it, and we know what defense knows what they're going to do. It's just can you stop them? And that'll be a challenge for us.
And then Saturday with Emporia, you kind of alluded to it earlier. They will be focused. I know they didn't feel good about the way they played on Wednesday of last week. It'll be a much different Emporia team who seems to be, prior to your game, showing signs of maybe getting things back on track and making a little postseason push here.
Oh, it's like, yeah. I mean, it's going to be a harder game, even though it'll be a home game compared to an away game. I mean, they have struggled, and quite honestly, we, part of it, give our guys credit. We put them in that spot. We made them probably look bad and struggle, but at the same time, we caught a team that was struggling that played poorly that night, and they're going to be ready to go and play with much more effort and probably finish some shots they didn't finish the first time. And we got to keep going forward here. We're trying to play for a home game right now in the conference tournament, the top 8. Get a home game, and really right now you look at it, there's about 4 of us really fighting for that: Washburn, us, Central Oklahoma, and Western. I think 2 of us will get a home game. 2 of us will be on the road. We got a lot of road games to finish the season. So this little mini 2-game homestand, we need to have success if we expect to have any type of chance to play at home in the first round of the conference tournament.
All right, sounds good. Coach, as always, we appreciate the time. Good luck this week. We'll see you Thursday night, and get ready for those Lopers.
All right, thank you.
That is head coach Mark Johnson. Again, Thursday night, 5:30 for the women, 7:30 for the men, and then Saturday afternoon, 2 and 4 o'clock with Emporia State. That is going to wrap up the program. Certainly hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to thank everybody who makes it possible: the Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, Couture for Men and Women, James Motor Company, BTI, and of course the fine folks at Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, 3203 Vine in Hayes, where the fire's always burning. For head women's coach Tony Hobson and men's coach Mark Johnson, this is Gerard Welbrock. So long, everyone.
It's the Fort Hays State University Coaches Show on Eagle Community Television, brought to you by Eagle Communications.